Hey guys, Heike Yates here. I am so excited. I have a special guest today on our show, and it's the owner of La Strada, and I love to call it Mobile, but it's La Strada food truck, and it's Debbie Ciardo. Debbie Ciardo, Italian, of course, and she's the chef and owner of the La Strada Food Mobile. And I wanted to have her on the show today just to find out what how she got started, what she got started, and she had this beautiful food truck, and she named it what? La Strada. So tell us about La Strada.
Oh, well, the origin of, first of all, it means the street, which is obvious meaning with a food truck.
Well, not if you don't speak Italian.
But the other meaning is it's one of the first Fellini movies called La Strada.
Uh-huh.
And it had his wife, Giulietta Messina, in it, and it's a really famous movie.
So the famous movie became the famous Italian food truck, and Debbie is the chef of the food truck. Now, what I was curious about, why do you love Italian food? What is it could have been Spanish food or Greek food or German food, since I'm German, right? So we don't know.
I have a lot of history with Italy. My grandparents migrated from Italy. I really didn't get to know them because they were gone before I grew up. I was really little when they died. But I then had an aunt who married a relative of mine, and she came to live in the States, and she turned me into a total Italophile. And I started going to Italy to her brother's house every summer and staying with them. He's an architect near Venice and very interesting. And his wife took me to this market every day, and we cooked, and I got really into it. I was always into cooking, but I really got into Italian cooking at that point.
Oh, so they taught you also how to cook?
Yeah.
Oh, how interesting. Would you cook in their kitchen or?
Oh, yeah. And my aunt was a fantastic cook. And then I eventually moved to Italy, and I worked in an aerospace company, but on the side I was learning to cook everything, talking to grandmothers. I married an Italian.
So you speak Italian?
I speak Italian.
So say La Strada was in Italian.
You did it perfectly.
La Strada. There you go. La Strada has got to be a little bit more sexy in there. So that's how you learn to cook.
So I have a long, and now my daughter was born in Italy, so she's a citizen. She grew up in America, but she moved back when she was 17. She lives in Florence now for 7 years. I go there every year, and I do lots of learning about cooking.
Does she love to cook?
No.
So
she
the
weighs
mommy
98 pounds. She always ate chicken nuggets and peanut butter sandwiches when she was growing up.
Okay.
She's changed now that she lives in Italy. She's getting a lot more into food. But
so why do you think Italians live longer? It seems like they're just hearty people. What do you think?
I just recently read that that's true, that Italians live the longest. And there's a lot of reasons. I mean, they constantly think about if what they eat is good for their bodies. Mm-hmm. It tastes good too, but they constantly think if this affects their livers. They talk about their livers a lot.
See, Italians, people.
Every single thing has a reason, and it's historic. I mean, it's been going on for hundreds of years.
Okay.
Italians walk a lot. They don't get in their car. They live in cities mostly, and they walk everywhere. So
very different lifestyle.
Getting a lot of exercise.
Yeah. But so I always think,
and they have a great attitude. They live. They work to live, and they live to eat. So, their whole life is built around food.
And I hope wine too.
And wine too.
Red
wine is for sure good for you. So I
should
try to do my part on the wine.
We should have brought some wine to the show today. I did not even think about it.
We should have been drinking wine while we were doing the interview.
Very cool. So La Strada is on the road doing things. How did you get the idea to start a food truck?
Well, I'm getting up there in years, and I was working for other people and not very happy, and I was tired of being at a desk. And I did start, and I still have, one of my passions is tango, and I started having tango shoes made. I found a shoemaker in Florence who made shoes. I still have my contacts with him, and side burner, but I wanted to make shoes better than the shoes that you could get because poor ladies' feet are killing them in their.
So you got into the shoe business.
So I got into the shoe business first, and then I needed something more like full time. So talking to some friends, they were like, "Why don't you start a food truck? You love to cook. You know, you don't have to put all the money that you would have to do for a restaurant, and you don't have to like totally give 100% of your time. You can work when you want." So I went out and
true entrepreneur.
Found a company that transforms old FedEx trucks into food trucks.
Oh, this is an old FedEx truck.
Yes.
Oh, how cool! So who painted that truck?
Well, it's actually called a wrap. It's not even painting. It's like you can't even scratch it off. It's a system where they have these giant tables. You give them your artwork on the computer. They put the design on these giant strips of almost like wallpaper. They place it on the truck, and then they put it in a very hot room, and it goes, and it just sucks onto the truck. It just
how
can't
cool
come
is
off.
that? That's
It's called a
cool.
wrap.
A wrap. Who knew?
Wrap.
I always thought a wrap was something to eat or wrap of a show, but hey, we're learning something new. So you got this truck, you wrapped the truck, you had to buy a stove, I'm assuming.
Well, the company they looked at my menu and designed my truck around what I was going to make. So I have a flat top grill, which is what I use to make paninis. I have a 6-burner stove. I have an oven. I have a refrigerator. They designed the whole thing so that I could make my food that I
We will check this out in the cooking
awesome
portion
company.
of this program. So,
It's called East Coast Custom Coaches, if you're ever looking
East Coast
for
Custom
somebody.
Coaches. We'll
I'll
put
give
it in
them
the
a
show
shout out.
notes.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the show notes for you.
Yeah.
So now you have your truck. Can I ask how much would that cost to outfit a truck like this?
It was, I would say, with the truck itself and the kitchen building, plus the wrap, plus all my cooking equipment, plus my initial permits and licenses and all that kind of stuff would be about $70,000.
So $70,000.
And that's for a used truck. If you get a brand new truck, I mean, my FedEx truck was like a 1998, so that's with an older truck.
Yeah. So
So
that's a big chunk of money. So when you think of you raise the money somehow, you got the truck wrapped and outfitted. If another woman would think, oh man, I want to start my food truck in my German cooking business, right? What would you say the biggest obstacles are to opening the food truck?
Well, there's not getting the money probably is the first one.
It's the first one.
But because nobody's going to give you a loan, that's the problem. I couldn't get a loan from anybody because I never had a business before.
So nobody gives you a loan. So no small business owner loan or even first-time women-owned businesses. That's very common here in Maryland where we are.
The SBA, you have to match. Whatever they give you, you have to match it and put that money in escrow. So it's not a gift at all.
All right.
Anyway, so that's the first hurdle. Once you get over that, it's just finding, it's according to where you are in the United States. There are some places like California or maybe down in Texas where there are lots of places to park on the street and there's a big food truck community. I'm in a place where in the county where people are just starting. So the hardest thing is to find jobs.
You go usually by word of mouth, or how do you?
I eventually was able to, in my county, there is a thing called Montgomery County Food Trucks.
Montgomery County Food Trucks, since we're in Maryland, so we're in the county of Montgomery.
So I joined that, and through that, I started getting jobs because they post jobs on their website. People can go to their website and just click on you and write to you. So that's how I started building. And then I got, known to different people and I had repeat customers.
Very nice.
That
Very nice.
so I recommend highly finding the organization in your town or county or city and joining it and just going to meetings and finding people are so friendly.
Oh, nice.
And I found that nobody's like cutthroat trying to block you from getting jobs. Everyone's helpful.
Oh, that's a good thing
So
to know.
that
So,
helps a lot.
yeah. So, what would you tell other women wanting to own a food truck? What, how would that impact their life, or how has it impacted your life opening the food truck?
Well, since I'm doing it all by myself, a lot of people have a partner, which really makes
Sole
it
entrepreneur,
easier.
just like
Yeah.
I am here with my business,
Yeah.
Pursue the Spark. We have people that may help us, but bottom line, it's Debbie and La Strada.
So it's a lot of hard physical work. Um, I do all the cooking. I load the truck. I have to take everything off the truck at night and put it in refrigerators. So there's a lot of lifting heavy stuff and the actual cooking when it's very hot. It's like 30 degrees hotter in the truck than it is outside. So
Wow.
when it's 95 degrees here, I feel it's very hot and hard work. But
so it's not as romantic as you see it in the
it's
movies.
not
They drive
no.
around. It's all a happy family.
Exactly, not that movie Chef where that guy goes across the country,
Right? We all
which you
seen
can't
that.
do because there's no way you could get all those permits in one day. So it's
So
totally
remember, ladies,
impossible.
it's just a movie.
Yeah, it's just a movie.
So
and also the hardest thing is keeping good employees because you're paying kind of a low wage and it's young kids. I usually use just a cashier, and they don't show up. It's hard to get good employees.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah,
hard.
I can see that.
So I don't even have anything to tell you about how you get a good employee. It's just kind of luck.
Yeah, I can see that. It's probably seasonal as well.
Yeah.
So how do you stay fit and in shape for your food truck?
Well, just doing the work.
I can imagine.
Standing all day and I live on the 3rd floor of an apartment building with no elevator, so I'm carrying stuff up and down, up and down.
See, everyday exercise for Debbie's job. There you go.
I actually feel like I've built up some resistance to the heat and to the carrying heavy things. I've probably got some more muscles. So, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Hey, that's definitely a way to look at it. No gym, no nothing. You got everything right here. Now, what would you say the best thing about opening La Strada was?
The best thing is not having a boss.
Yes!
The best thing is being in charge of your life.
Yep.
And that was one reason, besides all the money, that a food truck was good for me, because then I can be off when I want to be off. I can be on when I want to be on. I'm able to visit my daughter for 5 weeks in the winter.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a climate, if you're in California or Arizona or somewhere, you can keep your food truck open all year. And this area, people pretty much close for December, January, February, even part of March, so that you have time off. So
So you're saving money for that time to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. That's exactly the spirit of an entrepreneur, right? Is you work when you have work, when you want to work, make tons of money, hopefully, or at least a decent amount of money, so you can afford the things you enjoy doing. Like Debbie likes to travel and to cook. So what is your favorite Italian dish, Debbie?
Oh, goodness. I would, first of all, I have to say there's no such thing as Italian food because it's completely regional. If you eat one thing in Venice, you're never going to eat it in Florence or Rome. So I lived everywhere. I lived in Rome. I lived down in Puglia. I lived in Venice. I lived in Torino, way up in the north.
Okay, get the map out if you don't know where that is. Or just start eating your way through Italy.
From head to toe. And each place has a dish that I love. So it would be really, really hard for me to pick one.
All of it.
All of it.
So, but today, we're also cooking in your truck.
Yes.
And you said you're going to make a creamy asparagus pasta for us today.
Yes. Well, with pasta you can put anything on it. So one thing I want to show people is just the whole idea of how you make the best pasta in general. And then you can put your own, if you have zucchini sitting there or carrots or any kind of vegetables or ground beef, whatever you want, you can put it on pasta. It's just, you get it right if you really want to make pasta the way the Italians do. And I'm going to show you how to do that.
Now, with carbs, we're talking carbs of pasta. Italians are not afraid of pasta and carbs.
No.
Why is that?
Oh my gosh. If you walk around Italy, it's not like in those old movies with the big Italian ladies. I mean, these women are tiny and they eat pasta every day. So there's nothing wrong with eating
no
pasta.
carb phobe here, ladies.
Yeah.
So here, Debbie and I am going to go hit in the food truck, but I want to thank her for coming on the show today and sharing the experience of owning a woman-owned business, entrepreneur, La Strada. I love to call it mobile. The food truck, Italian food truck, and if you want to get a recipe of what we're cooking today and see how we cook the perfect Italian pasta, come back and we'll share with you the video about what's happening inside an Italian food truck. You ready to go?
Right, ready to go.
Ready to go.
Arrivederci.
Ciao!